As you can see here, we have some citizens doing some praying, actually, and devotion. So, this is not an uncommon thing to see. Hey, everyone. So, we're still here at this Taoist temple. And as you can see, there's a lot of people out. It's a beautiful day. And you can notice here this little candle holder. So what I'll say about this is you can stick a candle in there with a pole on it, and the candle will drip wax. And what they actually do is they collect the wax that falls into that little catch, which has water in it. And so they collect the wax to make more candles, and people will buy these candles, of course. So it's kind of like they're selling these candles that have been remade over and over and over again with the same wax. But they burn all the same, and people believe that if you burn these candles, then it will bring them more blessings. So, right now, we're walking down this temple. So, what I'll say about temples in China is that usually you have to start from the bottom and walk up. Almost all temples are built on these mountain mountain-like infrastructures. So it's kind of like you're walking up the mountain. With each step, you're going a little bit higher and higher. And with the goal of reaching to the top, which is usually where some kind of symbol or statue or the most significant part of the temple is. And so when we talk about Chinese temples, they're usually going from a down to up, right? And in this case, we started from the top because we actually drove to the top and we're walking down. But as you can see, this is a very unique looking and beautiful temple. And so the significance of this is for you to sacrifice something, to be challenged in order to gain something. As you can see here, we have some citizens doing some praying, actually, and devotion. So this is not an uncommon thing to see in Chinese temples for people to bow down to idols. And if you aren't familiar with this, they will bow down 3 times on this cushion, fully kneeling down and putting their head to the cushion in a submissive position. And so this shows submission, it shows dedication, it shows the willing to accept fate that doesn't necessarily belong to them in their own hands. Taoism, Buddhism, they all have these kinds of practices where people will trust or have some inkling of a belief that they are not totally in control of all of the events that will happen in their life. As you can see on the right side, there are some more idols that people are looking at, visualizing. And some of these gods in Chinese, the pantheon, relate to war, they relate to accumulating wealth. One of them is called Tai Shen, which literally means God of wealth, right? Maybe you've heard of this. And the Chinese believe praying to the God of wealth, or giving some offerings to him, will bring prosperity. There's different forms of this God that have to do with money directly, but also knowledge, wisdom, writing, art, war. So in all of these kind of realms, they have these different gods and idols to receive blessings for any endeavors that they will take in their life. This is a very interesting calligraphy piece that I just saw. I believe the character is Fu, which means prosperity, having a prosperous future. And as you can see, we're going down the mountain instead of going up. So a lot of people are going up, but we're going down. And this is leading directly to a river that's right next to this temple. Okay, and here's a painting. Here are some gates, which are very symbolic in Chinese culture. Gates represent what is not only inside, but also what is outside of a certain place. So if you want to remember something, remember that gates, they symbolize what is the barrier between one place and another place, one type of people and another type of people. And as always, we have these food vendors right nearby, even within the temple grounds, selling food, selling refreshments. And in China, you will always see this because in China, there was always an opportunity for something to be sold to someone. And this is a high opportunity cost that you should understand about China, which is the population is so vast that people will always be in need of something. Okay, I'll talk a little bit about this later in another video. So I hope you're interested in that. Here's a beautiful view of the river, or I should say, the ancient dam that was built in this place. So this place is actually called Dujiangyan, and it's one of the most famous dams, ancient dams built in China about 2,000 years ago. I've heard it's got a very interesting story about how it was built as well. So, if you like this video, if you like the content that I'm providing you, if you like learning about interesting things about China that you didn't know before, then consider subscribing to my channel and go check out one of my other videos where I talk about something else. So, I'll see you in the next video.